Well, Maisie, it's really great to meet you. I'm John Brawley, and I own Sweet Sound Aquaculture here at Earthkeep Farm Common. And right now, what I'm doing is growing shrimp in Vermont's first indoor shrimp farm.
I think of shrimp often as the ocean, so I'm excited to learn more about shrimp in Vermont.
Right, so this is a saltwater system. The shrimp are from native to Ecuador. So you want to see what they look like?
Yeah.
Okay. So these shrimp are growing pretty quickly. They've only been here for 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. And they're about 1 gram in weight.
Whoa.
And they're just about ready to get transferred over to the next phase of growing them, which is these larger grow-out tanks. So let me show you the rest of the farm. Okay. So before we head up there, why don't we feed the baby shrimp right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we have is baby shrimp feed. It's a combination of grains like barley, wheat, soy sometimes, and fish meal as the vitamins. They molt. Their shells come off and they'll also eat those. And they're cannibalistic, so if they're very, very hungry, they'll get fed in time and they'll eat each other. So it's important to keep the feeding regular.
Yeah.
All right, let's head up to the grow-out pools. Great. So these are the grow-out pools. They're getting close to market size, probably a week or 2 away. And they like to jump. So this is just really densely full of shrimp.
Could I try scooping some out?
Sure.
Ooh.
That's a good haul. You're hired. Okay, and so we're gonna do some feeding. Basically, it's the same type of formula that we just fed the nursery. There's a difference, it's a little lower in protein. You wanna feed the shrimp?
I'll throw some in.
Yeah, maybe go a little
Farther
bit towards
down
the
here.
other side. Just kind of like feeding chickens.
Oh, I can see them jumping over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, when they're hungry, this is their first feeding today. When they're hungry, they get really excited.
So are all the tanks at different ages, of different stages?
Yeah, when they're ready to go to market, I'll drain down the whole pool, and that'll be a week's worth of shrimp. And that's typically, this right now, it's about 100 pounds a week. So I just keep going through the pools. It takes about 2 months to go from the first one to the last one, and that's the perfect amount of time to then start the next batch.
Yeah. Could you tell me a little bit more about the water system and how everything flows?
The interesting thing about this type of aquaculture is it's called Biofloc aquaculture, or a Biofloc method of growing shrimp. And some fish are grown in Biofloc as well. And what that means, if you look at the water, you notice how it's quite brown. And that's because there's a significant amount of organic material, of particles of uneaten food and some of their waste, and also bacteria. And there are beneficial bacteria that will grow in these pools that attach themselves to those little particles of organic matter. And what these bacteria will do is clean the water. They're taking the waste from the shrimp, because with the shrimp, what they are excreting, instead of like urine, what they're excreting through their gills is ammonia. And it's very toxic to the shrimp, and they can get stressed out and die at very low concentrations of ammonia. These bacteria, called nitrifying bacteria, that live on the particles in the water, will basically feed on it and eventually convert it over to nitrate, which is a non-toxic form of nitrogen. Watch your step. All right. This pool has shrimp that I just put in, and they just came out of the nursery.
Oh yeah, they're a lot smaller.
They're always shedding their shell, because the shell, once it's hard, it won't grow. So they have to, every week or so, just like insects do and lobsters, they crawl out of their shell and they're soft for a few hours until the new shell can harden.
What made you get into shrimp specifically?
So in the US consumes about 1.5 billion pounds of shrimp a year. And that's a rate that's almost twice that of salmon, for example. Only 5% of our shrimp that we eat is domestically produced. It's a safe, sustainable, and efficient way to grow seafood in landlocked states like Vermont. More and more in aquaculture, there's been a shift from the emphasis in offshore fish pens to moving inshore and having big recirculating farms. So do you have any more questions about this?
I think I'm all set. Thank you
Okay.
so much for showing me around. It's been really cool to learn more about this whole process.
That's great to have you. Yeah, it'd be fun. Good.